Hello there, friends and neighbors. You're listening to some trailer talk here on the Movie Squad YouTube channel. I'm Joey DeAngelis here with Richard Purnell. We're actually going to talk about a couple of trailers, mainly the War for the Planet of the Apes trailer. First off, Richard, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm not sure yet. I'm just trying. Ask me again later in the video. I'm not. I don't know yet.
You don't know yet. Okay, so
I don't know yet.
Richard is undecided.
I'm
So
I'm very neutral on how I feel right now. I'm not good. I'm not bad. I think that's what I'm going with.
you exist, as a philosopher once said.
Yeah, isn't that you?
Shh.
I believe the philosopher's name is Joey DeAngelis.
That I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Some may call him the monk in the hills, aka Joe Dinny Dan.
Joe Dinny, more like the monk in the underworld, because I'm usually in my mom's basement. So,
as we all are, aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Everybody listening is in their mom's basement. I'm telling you right now.
We're just gonna get
No
a comment.
offense. I love you guys.
We're gonna get a comment. I'm actually in my mom's attic.
Like, well, you know what? You do you, man.
You do you. We applaud you for that. All right. So this week was actually a pretty good week for some big movie trailers. We should talk about the Justice League trailer first for a little bit, right? I mean,
it feels like the right thing to do.
right.
It just does.
So, Richard, I'll let you start this one off. What did you think of the Justice League trailer?
Well, are you saying that just because I'm the DC guy? That I like DC?
Between the two of us, yes.
Yeah. You know, this trailer made me feel good. It did. It's fun. That's the one thing you want the movie to be ultimately, is that, you know, that's the same thing with all the other DC movies, is that you do want them to be fun. You don't want them to force themselves to be fun or funny or anything like that, like some of the other superhero movies we've had, you know. And that's what I liked, that this movie finally felt like it was big, but it felt like a good time. And
Yeah.
so that's it made me feel good watching it. So I hope I have that same feeling when I watch the movie. And Aquaman is amazing. I'm throwing that out there.
Yes. So I'm going to preface this by saying I've thought a lot of the DC trailers for this DC extended universe or whatever have been pretty great. And then the movies themselves are, you know, you can debate the quality of them. I'm not going to get into that today.
Touchy subject.
Very touchy subject.
Subject.
That's, you know, I'm not the biggest fan, but I know other people are, and I can respect that. This
It's
one
like religion or politics. We're not
yeah.
talking about it.
Oh yeah, it's up there. Some of these things, I'm surprised we're even talking about, like the stuff that we are right now. I mean, we can get
We're on thin ice right now, so just walk slowly.
tread carefully. It looks like you said, it looks like a fun time. My issue, I guess, is the look of the movie. I feel it. I don't like I'm not a big fan of the very drained look.
The Snyder filter.
The Snyder filter. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You know, there's definitely some fun moments in the trailer. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
I dig it. To quote him, I dig it.
I dig it. Again, it looks fun, but I did hear that. So apparently, the running time might be 2 hours and 50 minutes. Although they'll probably have to edit that down to at least like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I would have to imagine.
Properly edit it down. And I am intentionally mentioning Batman v Superman. Edit it properly.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Yeah, really. We can say what you will about Batman v Superman. We can admit that the theatrical cut is kind of a mess.
Kind of.
Well, I'm trying to be nice here, Richard.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I need to walk slowly. Yeah,
we're trying here. I'm surprised they even said what I just said, man. Also, we got to look at J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, looking good.
He looks just like how Commissioner Gordon looked in The Long Halloween, which I was really cool with. I was like, that looks awesome.
Like, fabulous mustache, and he got really jacked for the role, apparently.
Because I feel like that's just what you do for a Zack Snyder movie: get jacked and then be in the movie.
I will be disappointed we don't have a slow-mo scene where jacked J.K. Simmons is wearing the Commissioner Gordon hat, but he's got his shirt off. So it's like one of those like Russian lager guys, and he's like about to punch like some monster, like Dark Side or one of the parademons.
Oh my God, we just need one slow-mo of him just like doing pull-ups, just.
I wouldn't be surprised if he could kick Batman's ass, honestly.
He looked that jacked. Let's be
Batman, are you rushing or are you dragging?
No, don't throw the battering. Try throwing it again. Come on. Nope. No, I don't like the way you're doing it. You're not going my tempo. take the battering and throw it again.
This is a touchy subject for you, actually. This next trailer, we won't harp on it too long. The Spider-Man Homecoming trailer.
Shh, don't even say the whole name.
The new Spider-Man 45. We'll call it that because I feel like there have been 45 Spider-Man movies, and I know darn well there have not been 45 Spider-Man movies.
It does feel like there have been 45 Spider-Man movies. Just to throw out some context, and again, skating on some thin ice. I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I'm just not. It's been a long time coming, kind of thing. You know, it's been that doesn't make any sense. It's just been something that is consistent. If you know me, you know I don't like Spider-Man, and so I have no interest in seeing this movie. For as much as they want me to see this, by freaking you got Michael Keaton in this movie, so obviously they're like, we need him to see this movie right now.
We're selling this hard to Richard Purnell.
But I just wanted to make that preface. I'm not a Spider-Man guy. Just so you know.
We'll talk about. I mean, I think Michael Keaton definitely is the best part of this trailer.
He looks great in that coat,
yes,
for sure. In the Vulture coat, he looks fantastic.
That's
I'm like,
coat.
Keats, I would take you on a date.
I guess my thing with this trailer is that it feels like it's the worst of both worlds in terms of a Marvel movie and in terms of a Sony Spider-Man movie.
Explain.
Actually, so one thing I will give this trailer, I just thought of it, is that a good friend of ours pointed this out to me, is that Spider-Man's not like being moody about being Spider-Man. He's actually likes being Spider-Man.
That's true. I'll give it that.
So that's kind of neat.
That's unique to a Spider-Man movie.
As far as the Spider-Man stuff goes, we're going back to high school for one. We're getting some, looks like some new nerd friend characters and stuff. I don't really care about any of them at this point. The costume's fine, but I'm just getting Amazing Spider-Man 2 flashbacks from some of the promotional work.
I also, and not to interrupt, I'm kind of getting and it might just because Zendaya's in the movie, but every time I see him in high school, I get hardcore Disney Channel movie vibes.
Yeah.
Is that I don't know, I'm just sitting there watching the movie and I'm like, is Zac Efron going to come in here and start singing about basketball? I mean, then again, if that happened, I would totally be okay with that.
I mean, you're a big fan. If you don't know this, guys, Richard's a huge fan of musical numbers and superhero properties.
That needs. I mean, when they did it in the Lego Batman movie, I was like, you got me. you won me over.
It's got it's got Tony Stark, and it feels like I'm not saying Robert Downey Jr. is terrible, but it feels like he's kind of phoning it in a little bit.
Because he's just forced into all. He's been, isn't he? I feel like he's been in every single Marvel movie.
Well, let's just
in some capacity.
Iron Man cameo, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk cameo with Iron Man, Iron Man 2, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Avengers 2, Civil War. That's 7, and then 8 will be Spider-Man: Homecoming. And
so that's a good chunk of them at least.
And then he'll break Hugh Jackman's record with Infinity War for being in comic book movies, just with Infinity War.
But I don't know if he'll. I mean, he needs to have a good ending like Hugh Jackman, though.
And I don't know if he's going to get it.
Nope. And that's the thing with the Marvel movies. There's no ending.
It's a constant cycle of movies. So
constant cycle.
Again, I mean, I'll reserve, I guess, I don't know. I'll see how it is, because inevitably I'll have to see this thing, because most of my friends are Spider-Man fans. My brother is a huge Spider-Man fan. He's got a big poster.
Shout out to Mike.
Literally the coolest person I know. We'll see about Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I mean, I do joke that I'm probably not going to see it because I don't like Spider-Man, but I mean, I work at a movie theater, and I got a lot of, like you said, I got a lot of friends that want to see all those kinds of movies, so I might end up seeing it at some point. Maybe not immediately, but I'll probably end up seeing it.
Absolutely.
I will say, and just like my last note on the trailer, and this isn't me just dogging on it for the sake of it, and I think you might think this as well. I do feel like this trailer fell in the same trap as every other Marvel trailer, where it just showed more than it needed to.
Oh my god, I felt like I posted this on Facebook. I felt like I saw the whole movie.
It's like, I wish I didn't know that Iron Man was the one that put that ship back together, because that was actually kind of a cool sequence. You see him struggling to like get the ship back together after it was split in half by Michael Keaton, and you're like, okay, because you don't normally see that in superhero movies anymore, where the superheroes actually like saving people.
Yeah,
I'll give it.
Oh my, that's actually that's a good point. Actually, we were talking about this with Fantastic Beasts and Doctor Strange, where you actually see the heroes in those movies, spoiler alert, like rebuild the city. I mean, yes, it's due to magical nonsense, but at least they're rebuilding. There's no scene in Batman v Superman where you see Superman, I'm gonna help rebuild the Daily Planet. Ho ho ho! No, he'd probably be more
with
like
his Mickey with Henry Cavill's obvious Mickey Mouse impression.
Ho ho ho! Guys, I'm gonna rebuild the Daily Planet. Ho ho!
This S means hope. Ho ho!
Oh man, no, but in all seriousness, there are some moments, but again, they're moments.
Yeah.
For us too, maybe we're not the best people to talk about that trailer, but again, it didn't impress us in any way.
No. Though it is weird that the Marvel movie of like the character everyone's wanted to see was the least impressive, but the movie in the franchise that no one is really in love with at this point in time had the better of the two trailers, I would think. Justice League just showed a little bit more promise, but that's just my thoughts on that.
And again, it could, by the end of the year we could be saying a very very different tune about the two movies, but
I could be a Spider-Man fan at the end of the year. Who knows? It's 2017.
That do not place those bets, folks. That is highly if there are bets, if we have that much of a fan base where people place bets on occasional movie squad cameo guests.
that would be pretty sweet. I am the Stan Lee of this YouTube channel.
So the other thing I have to say, what was the other trailer? Did you see the It trailer?
Yes, I was at work and I was like, I actually went on my break and a friend of mine, my coworker, came up to me and he goes, quote unquote. I walk in there and he's like, dude, the It trailer, it was bleeping good. And I'm like, I gotta watch it now. So I watched it and then it looks great, honestly. It looks genuinely creepy. I mean, I'm not gonna go. Oh, I hear a dog barking. I'm not gonna go like too overboard excited with it, but I'm definitely impressed with what I'm seeing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
The one other trailer we'll talk about briefly before Apes is Game of Thrones season 7 trailer.
That's my reaction.
I mean,
if only you could see my face.
that will be the video thumbnail.
Just... oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, we got like it was kind of like a tease thing. The Game of Thrones trailers are really interesting, like the teaser ones, because they usually just have like quotes from like the other seasons that relate to the new season, and they show cool images. This one, it looks like it's new footage of Jon Snow, Daenerys, and Cersei like walking to their quote unquote like thrones.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That is definitely cool, and
we know winter is coming.
I mean, yeah, we saw the little breath of cold air coming from Cersei's mouth, and then of course the zoom out. We saw the eyeball, the White Walker. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
but it definitely looks like it's going to get pretty intense. Obviously, the last season. I'm not going to spoil anything. But the way the last season ended, the stakes are high. The games are on. Winter is coming.
Yeah,
it's the culmination of everything from all the seasons of Game of Thrones is finally coming to a head. And it's really exciting.
I like to call season 6 the beginning of the end. It was really
exactly
the season that set up all the pretty much a lot of the final pieces that we're going to need for the last 2 seasons. So Game of Thrones.
I really hope honestly that season 7 is just because season 6 was really good. By the way, if you haven't watched season 6, it's
This is my top 3 seasons for Game of Thrones.
What is number 1?
For me, it's hard because it's like my 3 favorites would be season 1, 4, and 6.
Good call.
I like.
I'd have, yeah.
1 is just so easy to watch for me. I've probably watched season 1. I kid you not, probably at least 10 times in full because I've shown a bunch of people Game of Thrones and I just watch it with them.
I couldn't do that. I don't have the patience. I love the show, but I just don't have the patience to sit and watch 10 hours of TV.
And it's also, season 1's the only Game of Thrones season where I would argue it has a specific main character, and that would be Ned Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Because the others, I'm not like, obviously there were supporting characters that were important and all that, but Ned Stark was really at the centerpiece of everything, more so than any other character I think has been in any of the seasons.
Because it is technically, the whole point of Game of Thrones is, people fighting for power. And so, as each season progressed, it became more and more about the groups of people as opposed to just one specific person. Whereas the first season very much is about Ned Stark.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, but I'm very excited. Season 7, bring it on.
And it's coming out in like the middle of summer, July 16th. It'll be on, which is much later than it normally is, because if we're talking about when Game of Thrones usually comes on, we're talking like a matter of maybe 2 weeks, like normal time it would be on. But because they have to shoot in winter, they have to shoot with the snow and all that, they had to push it back to a later date.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why. That's the delay, is because it's like they literally, like, winter is here, so they need the snow.
And more than one way.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
that sounded more sexual than it needed to be. They need the snow, if you know what I mean.
So, so at the main topic at hand, the last trailer that came out today, as we're recording this, the War for the Planet of the Apes trailer, the second trailer we've had for this third Planet of the Apes movie. Richard, you look like you have a lot to say.
Well, first I want you to say that title in your Caesar impression.
War for the Planet of the Apes has begun.
We did not start this war.
I just wanted to do.
We did not start this franchise.
Someone else did, and then another director came on board.
So
I just wanted that nice Caesar impression.
There we go. We got Caesar. Now, one thing I have to say, like, just out front, I really want to talk about this. I love Planet of the Apes. I'm not just talking about the new movies either. I'm a fan of the original series from 1968 through 73, 74. Charlton Heston, Roddy McDowall especially. Then they have the live action TV series, the animated series, the Tim Burton movie that has some great makeup but isn't great.
I mean, Rick Baker, we'll give you that.
Baker, I love you.
We love you, Rick Baker. I mean, don't you have like 5 different versions of like the box sets and everything? Like, you have a ton of Planet of the Apes stuff.
Yeah, I have the big 40th anniversary Planet of the Apes box set that comes with all 5 of the original movies. It comes with the timeline, because Planet of the Apes is like Star Trek or X-Men, where there's an alternate timeline that gets screwed up because the apes in the second movie time travel to the 70s because Charlton Heston destroyed the Earth. That's an actual thing in a movie.
But let's be honest. If there was anyone that would probably end up destroying the world, that's not Steve Guttenberg. Yeah. That's an inside thing. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying we know things. But yeah, Charlton Heston, he would probably destroy the world. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to think, and it's got a nice booklet. I love Planet of the Apes. I even have a miniature like a foot tall lawgiver statue in my man cave, and that's, if you don't know what the lawgiver is, Google it. My opinion on these new movies, I think this is like a Batman Begins level of how to do a reboot right of a franchise.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I was never really a big, like, I liked I like, you know, the first Planet of the Apes, and I've seen some of the other ones, but I was never like as steeped into like the franchise like fandom as you were, or like some of my other friends.
Right.
But and I was kind of interested in seeing. I remember when Rise was coming out, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then I went and saw it just on a whim, and I left the theater going like, "Wow, that was amazing!"
Yeah, it kind of surprised people.
Like, I didn't expect it to be that amazing at all. I just remember seeing the trailers and thinking, okay, this looks like it could be cool, you know, or it could be crap. Who knows? And then I saw it and I was like, it's obviously not crap.
Yeah. No, that
obviously the anti-crap.
And everyone likes to say, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy started the trend of good August movies or exciting August movies. And I'm like, did you forget about Apes?
I mean, do you not remember Apes?
2011.
No?
2011. This new one, directed by Matt Reeves, who is directing the Batman, right?
We have to mention that.
Yeah, he's directing Batman. That's pretty spectacular, I think.
Woo!
It's really nice.
I love the doubt. It's his favorite movie with Meryl Streep, okay?
I like that movie a lot, actually. Viola Davis, I love her so much. But
Amanda Waller, we're back to DC again.
Back to DC again. Just can't avoid it. Even when we're talking about an Oscar contender, wait, Suicide Squad won an Oscar, so we're just going.
It did. It totally did. Let's not forget that either. Oh my goodness!
Is this even about the Apes trailer? No, we're just talking about doubt. Stay tuned for Richard and I's review of Doubt.
We're just going to do a commentary, watch along with us. Just press play when we say press play. We'll be good.
It features the late Philip Seymour Hoffman as our interpretation of the Penguin.
You guys will love it.
Oh, man. So, this new Apes trailer, one thing I really like about these Apes movies is that it's not like a sprawling cinematic universe where, of course, it's a franchise. It takes place within the same universe, but we're not getting one every year. We got one every 3 years so far. So
they're actually taking time to make these damn movies,
and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time because they craft pretty good stories, and the special effects. I mean, the money. You look at it on screen and you say, "Caesar's there."
I don't see Andy Serkis.
You see a monkey that talks like Andy Serkis.
Is that a monkey? That was a quote from Kong Skull Island.
Can we not reference that?
I'm sorry.
Again, I was talking about continuity and all that, and this new trailer opens up with, some voiceover, some dialogue from the previous Apes movie. We got like John Lithgow talking about like Caesar when he was a baby.
And then Toby Kebbell comes in with his because he played the what the heck was his name?
Koba.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved that was definitely one of the best Toby Kebbells ever.
I agree.
And he sang one of his lines, and they actually repeat that line throughout the trailer, which I thought was kind of cool because it really like solidifies what exactly they're going to be doing in this.
Yeah, and then they have Gary Oldman's like line.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so they got a couple. Jason Clarke, I think they have him in there as well. And what I like is that you see Caesar is clearly aged.
He's old man Caesar.
He's clearly has gone through stuff. Like the last movie, spoiler alert for a movie that came out 3 years ago, and we're talking about
the Dark. Hold on, I got one more. The Dark Caesar returns.
The Dark Caesar returns. I am the one monkey who beat you.
This is not a mud hole. This is an operating table, and this is a banana. That was stupid, but you know what? It made me laugh.
No, but then we see Andy Serkis's Caesar play the game of Operation, and we hear like that
would be great. Matt Reeves, take notes.
So it seems like now the apes are in the middle of this conflict and war, and there are human troops looking for Caesar and his tribe and group of apes. And it also, like, the other thing that I really took away was that it seems like the humans are using the apes. Like,
well, yeah, because there's that one bit where there's a gorilla like recruited with the humans, and he's like, you see that point when Caesar, it looks like he might be chained up or something. He's got his arms up like King Kong style. He's like, what did they offer you or something like, or what did they give you?
Right.
And you just like you see and I think it's reflected too, because if you look at some of the older trailers, there are bits in the old trailers where you're seeing like the apes and the humans fighting, and there's that bit at the end when you see a gorilla on top of this like wall.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
And like he's like helping them load the guns and stuff. So like it makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
But I also kind of like, and you were saying too that they've been looking for the apes. It seems like maybe Caesar's kind of become a legend now.
Mm.
Kind of like how he's always, because he was a legend in the Planet of the Apes movies to begin with. Like, the story of Caesar.
Caesar was a very pivotal character, and in fact, in the last of the original Apes movies, he gets his own like statue. Because he's very like he was the guy who led the ape revolution, like he does in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He did that in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which is one of my favorite installments in the original series. But yeah, go on. You were saying.
But yeah, well, I was just saying, it looks like he's finally becoming the legendary Caesar. Not that he wasn't before, but he's now the legendary Caesar.
Absolutely. Each of these movies, I think, has to have some sort of notable human performance of some kind, or a notable human actor. And
they get a lot of great.
They
get a lot of great, like the first one, John Lithgow, even James Franco has had his time as
he was decent. He worked.
And then the girl from Slumdog Millionaire, I can never remember her name, but she was there
too. She's a cutie,
but she's pretty.
Yeah,
she is pretty, and she's a good actor, so I'll give her that too. And then the second one, we got freaking Gary Oldman, and in this one we getting the great Woody Harrelson. Tons of great human actors.
Woody Harrelson gives me like an Apocalypse Now like vibe, where he just he's so against these apes at this point, where I like with each movie it feels like a decent progression, where in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, or like in Rise, they didn't bother the apes after that. They just went, the apes went to the Redwood Forest, and they were obviously dealing with like the disease too, but I'm sure that they could have done some like get the animals out of there, but they kind of just left the animals there, presumably, in the Redwood Forest. In the second one, these humans are just trying to survive, a lot of them. I mean, some of them, obviously, they have their prejudices against the apes, but a lot of them are just trying to live. They just want to get back to some sort of state of normalcy. And in this one, it's, like they said, full-out war. And one of my favorite lines in the trailer is Woody Harrelson. It's like, sometimes we must commit acts of inhumanity to restore humanity.
And that's such an appropriate line too for a Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah.
The one question I do have in regards to Woody Harrelson is he ever going to finish shaving his head?
I just want a scene where he's like in a fist fight with Caesar, and half of his head has shaving cream on it.
And it's just like I want him to literally just look at him and go, "I was shaving my head." Just get really pissed off, like Caesar just knocked the straight razor out of his hand. It's like, you son of a. I was shaving my head.
Oh man,
that's my one question I have about Woody Harrelson. But other than that, I'm very excited. I also agree that I have Apocalypse Now, Vietnam style. Even like a Call of Duty kind of feel to his character, especially when he's got like the black war paint on.
You know what?
And
you know what? That would be a good Call of Duty game.
Oh my gosh.
Like a Planet
I would actually
get
into it. Yeah. Screw the zombie mode. Where's the Planet of the Apes mode?
Yeah, it's just like monkeys and endless monkeys.
Oh my, that would be a million times more frightening than freaking zombies.
I mean, look, have you seen what chimpanzees can do to you?
Yeah, I've seen Planet of the Apes.
You know what else I like too is like the almost like the nuclear winter look.
Oh yeah.
I say nuclear winter, but I say that because it looks like there's like snow, and I have to think maybe the humans have some sort of other like weapon.
I really liked the fact that Caesar's a legend. He's kind of become, because like the first movie he was just Caesar, the lab pet, rat kind of scenario.
Right.
And then the second one he was the king, essentially. He was the leader. Whereas now he's finally become, the legend of Caesar. And so I thought that was really cool. I also just like that, again, it's just like all the other Planet of the Apes, it's continuing that theme of, you know, maybe, yeah, monkeys are, apes are, animals, they're beasts, but, so are humans. Humans can be beasts as well. And so it definitely, is still doing that gray area, blur the line, like who's the real monster kind of scenario. Obviously with that line with Woody Harrelson. I'm very excited it looks like it's going to be a lot more action packed. Obviously it's War for the Planet of the Apes. By the way, I love that poster still. I see it at work all the time. The poster where Caesar's on he's on the horse, and it just says War in big red letters. Also, I loved the Frankenstein moment in the trailer. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which part are you talking about?
When the gorilla hands the flower to the little girl.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, I thought that was just beautiful imagery, first of all. And like it just like it shows a nice juxtaposition to like all this conflict between the humans and the apes, and yet here's this massive gorilla like putting a flower behind this little girl's ear. That's like, it's and I say Frankenstein moment, but he didn't throw her into a river or anything. But you get the point, though.
But maybe Matt Reeves included the throwing into the river. It's just not
it's deleted scene, extended cut. We'll get it later.
And then the one thing I wanted to mention, this might be slightly spoilerly because this is speculation. So
if you don't want to know it, just go away.
So at the original Planet of the Apes, one of the most iconic endings in history. It's on a beach, and it's after and you realize they've been on Earth all along, and it's just a nuclear disaster is what ended human civilization, pretty much. Yeah. Not a disease in the original series, even though there was a disease that killed cats and dogs in the original series, and that's why they used ape slaves. That's another side note. So in this one, there's a lot of shots of Caesar and the apes on horses with human children.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this, and it was like in the first trailer, that was like the first shot. What was them on the beach, and somebody pointed out to me, like, what if that's like some of the last shots in the movie?
Ooh,
it might be a little on the nose, but I would kind of like, again, I would kind of dig it if that was the ending.
Quoting Jason Momoa again. Again. But no, I remember us talking about that, and I do agree that'd be kind of cool if that was like the last shot when they're walking on the beach.
And I'm trying to think. So another thing, I guess, of speculation is where do we go from War for the Planet of the Apes? Because I thought I read somewhere that this would be the last one featuring the character of Caesar.
And I mean, it definitely seems like they're going the full circle route, just like any trilogy. I mean, you hear the voiceovers from past movies in this one, and we're seeing it. Just obviously Caesar's an old man, so. Like, if anything, yeah, I could definitely see this being at least the last outing of Caesar.
But again, I think if you do another Apes movie, I think it should be more in the future, where the apes have more of a stronghold on civilization than they do in these movies. Which I do find kind of interesting is that they have their own like structures and homes and stuff, but it's not like the original Planet of the Apes where it's like full on apes wearing clothes and their troglodyte
ape society,
their ape society, and all that. In fact, in the original novel, it was actually highly futuristic. The technology, like Pierre Boulle had flying cars and apes in suits and all that kind of nonsense.
Plot twist. Tim Roth comes back, and it actually turns out the next one in the future is the ending of the Tim Burton one.
What a sequel!
Like, who saw that coming?
That's the biggest twist of who directed this, and we see M. Night Shyamalan.
Dang it, M. Night!
What's he twist?
Stop it! What they twist? No, I did like Split. I can't make fun of him, but so I do like some of his movies. But
I mean, Apes. I think it looks great. Both trailers have looked great.
I'm excited.
You're excited. I mean,
we're all excited.
I'm definitely going to get my tickets.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for War of the Planet of the Apes.
It doesn't rhyme, but it's okay.
It works.
We'll work on that.
We'll make a jingle for it later.
So before we sign, I just want to say, if you are a fan of Samurai Jack, I have been posting Samurai Jack episode discussions for each of the new episodes of Season 5. Hopefully they'll get more people to hop on those discussions. I have the first 3 discussions on the first 3 episodes posted. If you want to listen to those, check out the Movie Squad YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Movie Squad channel for a lot of other content. We're going to have some more reviews in the future. It's just been slow rolling for a lot of people, and I've been putting out a lot of the videos lately. I'll be
Because
honest.
you are a smooth talking gentleman.
Hey, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Hey,
You're just a smooth talking gentleman.
But I just want to say thank you guys for listening to us for a really lengthy amount of time, and also thank you, Richard, for hopping on this last minute and talking about these trailers.
Don't pander to me.
I will. Tell me, can you be pandered to? You will.
No, I will not. Oh wait, I'm not Batman. I'm Superman. No, I will. No, it's the same thing.
It's just a Zack Snyder growl. Testosterone.
No, that was too high. No, I had fun. Thank you for having me on again. Hopefully, maybe I'll be on in some future videos. Who knows? We'll find out. I guess. I don't know.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Later.